Hey, it's August 7th, and just got done with the Mid-Iowa Antique Power Show. We are getting ready to load up to Minneapolis. The trailer is still about, 45-50 minutes out. The other guys in the team have headed off to Newton to send the water wagon back to the museum, and they left me in charge of Minneapolis. I'm here to make sure that the pressure stays between about 75-50 psi, such that we have enough steam to get this guy onto the trailer. You can see the pressure gauge there. We are between the 50 and the 75, so we're in good shape. Have the engine just kicking over, just to keep the cylinder warmed up. I can move this lever here, open up the drain cocks, and you'll see a little hiss of water and steam. That just keeps condensation cleared out of the cylinder so we don't have hydraulic lock. This is the throttle right here. Just have it barely notched up or ticked over here, such that the engine is just beautifully just slowly ticking over. This is the valve gear. This is actually reverse and 100%. This is 75% cut off. This is neutral, where those won't rotate at all. And to change the direction of those, I just keep on going and putting it back here to 70 and then 100%. This is actually forward. Pull it back to go forward. Push it forward to go reverse. There's obviously the steering wheel. Nice little handhold. And it's amazing that even though we're not moving, it's not all that hard to turn the wheels. And what we have here is the sight glass. You can see we're right at about half a glass. And we are on a little bit of a tilt this way, so it's going to read a little higher on this side than over here. These are 3 gauges, or actually 3 valves. And what you look for is it's just confirmation of the water that's in the glass. So this guy, and you'll see it here, right there, when I turn it, you'll get a blast of steam. Turn this guy, you see more of a blast of really hot water coming out of that. That lets you know that the water level is somewhere between here and here, which is great. And of course, the heart of the engine is the firebox. And you have to manage this to make sure that you have enough heat to do the work you need, as well as when we're not doing work, you've got enough heat to maintain the pressure on the gauge that we showed up there. Now, it's not good practice to keep that door open for too terribly long. I just want to leave it open long enough to shovel in coal or add a few pieces of wood, which we're burning right now. Although we did burn some coal when we were on the threshing machine, powering that. So no, just beautiful machine. Very privileged to have been asked to assist and help and learn. That, and along with my friend John Fiedler, we have just had a blast out here Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Just a gorgeous engine. You just see it just so quiet when it's just ticking over like this. And at the same time, when we're threshing or chugging up a hill, it makes just that beautiful chugging steam engine sound. We've got 2 whistles here. This is a 3 chime, and that's the single chime. This is the original. And then Brian put on this 3 chime, and they're beautiful sounding. Here's the pop-off valve. Pressure gets above 100 psi, that'll pop off and reduce the pressure down to 95, and then it'll shut again. This is the steam dome, and up top there's the red valve there, or dial there. You can turn the valve on and off. Right now obviously it's on because we are moving steam. And up there, the 3 balls of the governor, and that loud noise you hear is, I believe, our trailer, if I'm not mistaken, that we're going to send this guy back on. Although I might be mistaken. We'll see. This is the front water tank. Here's the siphon. They can drive up to a creek bed, attach a hose right here, take it down to the creek bed, and they'll inject steam in here, causes a vacuum, and it'll pull water all the way from the stream to fill up this tank here. This is a preheater. Takes the used exhaust from the cylinder, passes through here, and then goes into the smoke box right up in there. Cold water goes in this way and gets warmed up before it gets injected into the engine. This is a double acting single cylinder. There's a slide valve, which is on the other side. Not a piston valve, but a slide valve, which are kind of nice. Slide valves wear in, they don't really wear out. And we got various grease cups and lubricators all over this guy. Here's the pump, crosshead pump, that will pump water in with each stroke. Right now we don't have it pumping water because we're using very little steam right now. All sorts of plumbing and valving. There's the steering gear and the chains that are actually used to turn the wheels. Just I don't know if they call that a tiller system or what, but just center pivot. And I think I missed it on the other side. There's a really amazing little worm gear that gives you just tremendous mechanical advantage, as I mentioned up top. It doesn't take a whole lot of effort to steer this guy. It's really quite impressive. So worm gear turns this guy, and we got chains wrapped up. Turn goes one direction. This will roll the chain up on one side, release it on the other, and your front wheel turns. Just really a beautiful thing. And just amazing valve gear here, or excuse me, drive gear, roading gears, gear reduction. Right now you can see the wheel turning, but those green cross members there, that's your clutch, although you're not supposed to slip it, and you don't. It'll stop the engine and then engage. Those will branch out and then grab the flywheel, and then when you start the engine again, that green cross member will turning your gears, and hence you're going to be rolling up or down the road. Another water tank in back. Each of the water tanks are 100 gallons, so there's 200 gallons of water tank storage on here. Maybe a little bit less in the front. They have a little standpipe comes up into the center of the tank, just so they don't pull dregs off the bottom of the tank. And there's our coal bunker. And there you go. Maybe a few more items. There's got a couple injectors I should maybe make mention of. So there's 3 ways to get water into this thing. There are the crosshead pump, which I showed you up there. Then there's 2 injectors. There's one right here and one right there. And they take a little bit of right there. Take a little bit of finessing to get those to work. A little bit of practice. You got to turn your steam on and then your water supply, and then you kind of fiddle with it a little bit until it starts drawing water in. It's just an amazing apparatus. So I think that's about it. Yeah, just a real neat machine. Just really privileged to be able to work on it. I'll make a couple other things. The front air damper there, you can lift that up and get a little more air. Lift this up, get a little more air into the firebox if need be. And there's one actually in the front. We typically don't use that one. It kind of puts cold air onto the crown sheet or the front sheet plate. Yeah, I think that's it. And we don't typically do that. All those little red knobs that you see out there, there, and there. Those are grease cups, and after a little bit of operation, we'll turn those, all those little red cups, and that just pushes a little bit of grease, into the main bearing and the other moving parts. So again, just a real privilege to be working on this guy, and there you go.